Hi all, today we are going to discuss or we are going to start the new topic Basics of Mechanical Engineering, the third module of Basics of Mechanical Engineering. So we are going to start the third module. So as per the syllabus, the first topic is the Carnot cycle. So the Carnot engine is an engine that is invented by the Sadi Carnot, and Carnot engine basically work on the Carnot cycle. So Carnot cycle is basically a reversible heat engine cycle which basically consists of four processes. So first one is Carnot cycle. Carnot cycle. So Carnot cycle basically consists of four processes. The first process, isothermal heat addition. The second process is adiabatic expansion. Adiabatic expansion. Then next process, isothermal heat rejection. Then fourth process, adiabatic compression. Adiabatic compression. These are the basic process of Carnot cycles, basic stages of Carnot cycle. So Carnot cycle can be represented, any cycle can be represented in a PV diagram or a TS diagram. So we can now look the representation of Carnot cycle in a PV diagram. So next heading is how can we represent the Carnot cycle in PV diagram and TS diagram. So representation of Carnot cycle. So first we can represent the Carnot cycle in a PV diagram. So let me draw the x-axis and y-axis. This will be the pressure axis and this will be the volume axis. So Carnot cycle can be represented on the PV diagram as follows. This is how we represent on PV diagram. We can number it, first one, 2, 3 as well as 4. The process 1 to 2. Process 1 to 2. This process is basically the isothermal heat addition. This is the isothermal heat addition. Where the piston moves from volume 1 to volume 2, from V1 to V2, and here the temperature remains constant. Let the temperature be Th, and a certain amount of heat is added to the engine at temperature Th. Let that heat be QH. And so in process 1 2, the piston moves from the volume 1 to volume 2 isothermally. Since process is isothermal, there will be no change in temperature difference. So temperature remains constant. And next process 2 to 3. This process reversible, adiabatic, reversible adiabatic expansion. Since the process is adiabatic, there will be no heat transfer, and here the piston moves from the V2 to V3 adiabatically or reversibly adiabatic. The main peculiarity of the Carnot cycle is that all the processes are reversible and there is no any type of irreversibility. There is no internal irreversibility, there is no external irreversibility. So next process 324. In process 324 is isothermal heat rejection. Here piston moves from the volume V3 to V4. Here the temperature, since the process is isothermal, temperature remains constant and certain amount of heat is also rejected from the engine. Let that heat rejected is QR, and the temperature of the process 3-4 is constant. Let it be TC. And here, since the process is isothermal, there will be no temperature difference, and the entire there will be a certain amount of work is consumed by the process 3-4. So after this process, there is another process. This is the last process. This is process 4-1. This process is adiabatic compression. This process is adiabatic compression. Here the heat rejected or the heat interaction by the system with the surroundings will be zero. That's why it is called as adiabatic process, and there will be no heat interactions. So these are the 4 cycles. So we can discuss next section we can discuss about the work done by the Carnot cycle. So work done. Before discussing the work done, we can represent this Carnot cycle in a TS diagram. This is TS diagram. Let this be T, this be S. So this is how the Carnot cycle in TS diagram looks like. This will be the process 1 to 2. It will be 3. This will be 4. And this temperature is TH, and this temperature is TC. And let the change in entropy be delta S. This is how we represent the Carnot cycle in a TS diagram. So next we can discuss about the work done and efficiency. So work done and efficiency. We know this cycle is so first of all we can write, we know from the first law of thermodynamics, we know dq is equals to du plus pdv. This is from the first law of thermodynamics. It is basically a conservation of energy, since U is internal energy. We know internal energy is basically a state function, and state functions are the function whose value depends only on the initial as well as initial stage and final stage. Its value does not depend on the path it's traveled. That's why it's called a state function. So for a cycle, we know that in a cyclic process is last stage and first stage will be same. That's why it's called a cyclic process. So for any cyclic process, since last stage and first stage is same, there will be no change in the value of the state functions. Since its final stage and initial stage are same, the change in the value of the state functions will be same. So here du is a state function, that is internal energy is a state function, and dq and the heat interaction as well as work done are the path functions. So the value of heat added and work done will not be 0. So we can rewrite this equation as dq is equals to pdv. This is the equation. So we can analyze each and every process. In process 1, in process 1 to 2, process 1 to 2 is a isothermal heat addition. So the total heat added is QH. Heat added is QH. In process 2 to 3, adiabatic expansion, the heat is 0. Since the process is adiabatic, there will be no heat addition. In process 3 to 4, this is isothermal heat rejection. This is isothermal heat rejection. Here the heat rejected out is Q is minus QR. Since it is rejected out, I give a negative sign. Similarly, in process 4.1, Q is 0 as the process adiabatic. So from the equation 1, we know dq is equals to pdv, that is the total work done is equals to total heat added. So here total heat added is work done is equals to QH minus QR. This is the total work done by the Carnot cycle in one cycle. So next I am going to discuss about a new term called as efficiency. The efficiency, that we can denote efficiency by eta. So eta is equals to work done by, it's a ratio of work done by heat added. We know work done is equals to QH minus QR. Heat added is QH. So efficiency is given by 1 minus QR by QH. This is the basic formula for heat addition. This is the formula which is being used in every cycle. Let it be the Brayton cycle, let it be the Rankine cycle, let it be the Otto cycle. In every cycle, this equation remains same. But depends upon the cycle, we can manipulate this equation in different terms. Sometimes for an Otto cycle, this equation will be equals to 1 minus r raised to gamma minus 1. So it depends on the cycles. So this is the most basic equation for the efficiency. So we can further develop or we can manipulate this equation in different terms. So next one is, we know efficiency is equals to 1 minus QR by QH. So before discussing the next topic, let me introduce a very small concept called as entropy. Entropy. This concept of entropy will be useful. So entropy is given by S. Entropy is denoted by S. It is a state function. It is a property. It is a state function. It's a state function. So ds is given by dq by t. This is a basic equation for entropy. So we know dq is equals to tds. So from this we understood that since dq is equals to tds, the area under ts diagram will give the heat added or heat rejected. We know the work done is equals to PdV. So in a PV diagram, the area under PV diagram will give the work done. Similarly, the area under TS diagram will give the value of heat added or heat rejected. So we know in a TS diagram, the Carnot cycle is represented as this, like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it be delta S. We know the process 2 to 3 is a reversible adiabatic process. Since the process is reversible adiabatic, we know ds is equal to dq by t. Since in process 2-3 there is no heat addition, so the value of ds will be 0. So this line is vertical. But in case of process 1 to 2, the value of entropy will change because ds is equal to dq by t. So since the q is a non-zero, since there is a heat addition, the entropy will increase. But in the case of process 3 to 4, since the heat is been rejected out, the value of entropy will decrease. So we can see that there is a decrease in the value of entropy. So we know efficiency is given by 1 minus, let this temperature is Th less and this temperature is T0, Tc. So efficiency is given by the equation as this heat be added QH and heat rejected is QR. Then efficiency is given by 1 by QR minus 1 by QH. So we know QR. What is the value of QR? As we know that the area under TS diagram will give the value of heat added or heat rejected. So the value of heat rejected QR will be this one, this area. This is the value of heat rejected out, that is TH, TC, that will be TC into delta S. Similarly, the heat added QH is equals to TH into delta S. This is the value of heat added. So we can substitute in the equation number 1. We will get eta is equals to 1 minus Tc into delta S by Th into delta S. This delta will cancel out. This is 1 minus Tc by Th. This is the equation for efficiency for a Carnot cycle. And from this equation we can see that the efficiency only depends upon the temperature ranges, the highest temperature as well as lowest temperature. So the basic peculiarity of the Carnot cycle is that it is having the highest efficiency of the all cycles operating under the same temperature limits. So any cycle which is having the efficiency greater than Carnot cycle is impossible, because Carnot cycle will be having the maximum value for the efficiency. But we know the Carnot cycle is basically an hypothetical process, because realization of the Carnot cycle is very difficult. As the main reason is that we know Carnot cycle consists of basically two processes, basically isothermal process as well as adiabatic process. For the realization of the isothermal process, the process must be done very slowly. But for the realization of the adiabatic process, the process must take place very fastly. Because of these two paradoxes, these two contradicting things, the realization of the Carnot cycle is difficult. But every engine manufacturer tried to attain the Carnot efficiency. And it is another important thing to note here, it as we know efficiency is equals to 1 minus heat rejected by heat added, and this can be also written as 1 minus Tc by Th. But it is noteworthy that this equality is only satisfied. This equality is only satisfied if the process is reversible. This process is reversible. We know the basic equation for the efficiency is this. This can be used whenever the process is reversible, irreversible, no problem. But this equality is only satisfied when the process is reversible. Otherwise we cannot equate this. And another important thing is that Carnot cycle is having the highest efficiencies. So we can use to check the efficiencies of other if there is an efficiency eta 1, or if some manufacturer claims an efficiency of 90%, whose engine is operating at a temperature limit T1 and T2. To evaluate the statement, first of all check the Carnot efficiency with the same temperature limit. If the efficiency is less than 90%, that is claimed by the manufacturer, the claim of the manufacturer is wrong, because there will be no engines which is having higher efficiencies than Carnot cycle. So here we are concluding this topic, Carnot cycle. I hope everyone understood what I said. So we will discuss the problems of Carnot cycle in next classes, and after that we will move to Otto cycle and Diesel cycle. Thank you.